嗨，大家好！今天呢，我们来到了 COP28 的绿区，然后这边有很多的新兴的公司，做新能源的风能的公司。Hello, Mr. King.
Yes,
nice
pleasure.
to meet you. Would you like to introduce yourself, your
Yeah.
company, and the technology to our Chinese public?
Yeah, by all means. My name's Lee King. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hydro Wind Energy. We're working very specifically in energy, power generation, energy storage, and also seawater desalination. We're developing a very unique technology that harnesses wind offshore in deep waters, stores the energy subsea mechanically, and then releases it on demand as electrical energy. The same systems can also be used for water desalination by simply using the hydrostatic pressure at a depth of 400 meters to drive a reverse osmosis process.
Yeah, maybe how you got the idea to found this company?
Well, the idea was my background is actually in energy and desalination. I was working for an investment fund. It's very specifically in the desalination sector. And one of the first things that that was a very big challenge globally was the water crisis. At the moment, over 2 billion people don't have access to clean water. And we were trying to find solutions or ideas of how to solve that. And one of the ways that we came up of solving it is with this unique system here.
Yeah, would you like to introduce this system a little bit?
Yeah, so ultimately this is offshore, it's in deep waters. What we're doing is we've got reverse osmosis membranes connected to a pressure vessel. And what we do is we drop that down to 400 meter sea depth. And the pressure at that depth drives the reverse osmosis process, filters the water into, not fresh water, but it's desalinated water. We close the system, and then simply we use wind to mechanically lift the fresh water to the surface. The fresh water is then transferred into a sailing barge to deliver to shore.
So I heard you have some projects in China and in the other places in the world. Would you like to
tell us a little
we're
working on a project now to deploy a scale demonstrator. There's a configuration where it's not used for desalination, but it's used for power generation. Testing it hopefully off the coast of Hainan in China. And we're also going to be testing it off the coast of California and potentially also in the Mediterranean next year.
So which kind of project are you working on in China?
Is the energy one. So it's very similar to this, but it uses this as the payload. And it's just a different way of harnessing wind. Instead of converting it directly to electrical energy, we're simply using wind for mechanical lift to lift a heavy mass by a submerged height. And then when you want electricity, you just drop that and then with a generator on top of it, and that's what generates electricity. And the cycle continues. You do another cycle and a third or fourth cycle. The idea is if you synchronize it, that's when you're actually solving some very big challenges.
So what's the biggest contribution to the sustainability development in the world regarding this technology?
So we have some very ambitious plans with partners to reduce carbon emissions by over 1 billion tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. To put that into context, that's probably 2% of total carbon emissions globally from all sectors. So yeah, it's very, very ambitious, and we can achieve it with the right partners.
So what do you think about the future?
Well, it's very challenging. I think with the climate crisis, it is really probably one of the biggest challenges that humanity's ever faced. But I think, I'm still optimistic. But there's a hell of a lot of work to do before we actually do this transition, and it's going to take 25 to 30 years minimum, I would say. For the transition. We still source 90% of our energy globally from fossil fuels.
And are you optimistic with this technology?
Well, I think it will require several technologies. There's several dimensions. It's multifaceted, the challenge. But this is something that can be deployed offshore in deep seas, out of sight, to solve especially the power. The modern economies are based on energy consumption. So this is something that can potentially help solve that.
Oh, I wish you great success in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
气候加速度，行动加速度。